What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I am packing some boxes from the books that I had bought. And a question that I get all the time is, how do you pack and prep your boxes? So, what better thing than to show you how I pack and prep 436 books and what I do. There's really no science to it, but I'm here to answer your questions. So if you do have any questions regarding packing, prepping, cost of shipping, all that good stuff, now's a good time to drop your question in the chat. Sorry if I'm really close to the camera. Learn how to make millions. That's right. Pretty soon it's going to be billions, right? So drop your questions. I'm going to label these real quick while we wait for some people to hit up the live. It's kind of spontaneous. Didn't plan on going live. Kind of just a quick thing to go live. So what I'm doing now is I'm taking my labels. I'm putting them on the 6 boxes I'm going to show you in a second. Because these boxes are pretty much all equal weight because I'm dealing with books. So I don't have my belt on, you know what I'm saying? Got on my hustle pants. I think we might go live later on, like in a store, like a live hustle. So what's up to everybody who's joining the live? I'm going to explain to you what I'm doing in a minute. All right, so what I'm doing is, just for everybody who just joined, I am packing some boxes to send to Amazon. I get a lot of questions on what do I do? Like, how do I pack? What's the cost of shipping? And the way I'm doing it this time, hold on one second. See, I got these 6 boxes here. Gonna go out, and then we gotta prep. We gotta pack all these books. Those are the empty bags. We had 28 bags. 28 bags from this book sale. And they need to get out of here because I'm not a fan of them being in my garage right now. That's the only thing I hate about books, as they take up a lot of space if you don't get rid of them right away. Let me see who's in the chat. Let's see. What do you do with returns? It's a good question. What do I do with returns? Well, a couple things. There's one, I inspect them to make sure if I can resend them back in, because sometimes maybe the customer just didn't like it, they didn't want it. You know, it is what it is. But definitely I inspect it, and if I feel like it's not the way I sent it in, then I will sell it on Macari. But if it's a book, I'll either donate it or I tried sell back your books, but I mean, I literally had to pack up like 30, 40 books to get like $8. So to me, it wasn't worth it, but maybe worth it to somebody else doing books. To me, my time is more valuable than sitting there to do those books. So let's see. Are you still doing books? Yes, I am doing books. it felt good because this past weekend was the first time I was able to get into a few library sales. They've been kind of far and few in between. And oh, sorry if, you know what? Sorry if it looks like the camera's crooked. The camera's not crooked. I am standing on a hill, so you see. Um, but yeah, I am still doing books now that I can get into the libraries in my state because Massachusetts finally said, okay, we can kind of open. Ridiculous, the state. It's another topic. But yeah, getting back into books, getting back into the full swing. I love it. They just take up a lot of space. And what I'm doing is I'm paying Amazon to sticker every book. I don't got time to go through all these books, 436 books, and sticker them all, especially when they're like out of order and like, all that stuff. Ain't nobody got time for that. I'm paying Amazon to do that. So, what am I paying Amazon? I'm paying Amazon 30 cents per sticker. So do the math. 436 times 30. Or do 43 times 3. It's basically what I'm paying Amazon to sticker all these books. And honestly, for me, it's worth it. I'd rather spend the 100-something bucks, let them take care of it. I'd be sitting here for hours stickering all these books. So, that's part of the process, right? Like if I had to polybag everything, I'd pay Amazon to do it. And that doesn't work for everybody. And honestly, if you're just starting out, I do not recommend, let me repeat that. I do not recommend you pay Amazon to do anything if you can do it yourself because you're just starting out, right? You need all that capital, right? But as you get going and as your time becomes more valuable, then you might want to pay Amazon to do it for you. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's worth it to pay Amazon to do the work for you, especially if it saves you time and you'll be doing other things. Let me see who I got in the chat. Let's see. So the Deuterino says, let me picture this over here. Hold on. It says, what's up, Richie? I loving your blogs. I don't find half the details or half the deals you do, but I did snake some boxes of Tickle Me Elmos from a pallet. Yes. Hey, look, that's what you do. Hold on one second. My neighbor's saying hi. What's going on? How you doing? I did. It's sitting in the garage. I just got to figure out how to put it up now. My neighbors. So, Tickle Me Elmos, honestly, if I found a pallet and there was some Tickle Me Elmos on there, I would absolutely take them all myself. It is what it is. It's a dog-eat-dog kind of world. But that's good. Listen, I'm paying $24 for the Tickle Me Elmos. And I was pushing them for 60, but not every Walmart has them. So let's see. Anybody have any shipping questions or anything like that? Keep up the good work, bro. Thank you. Keep up the good work as well. If you're a seller, appreciate everybody being here. And guys, if you find any of my content valuable, I'd appreciate if you hit that like button. That will help alert other people about this live so they can jump in, ask some questions that they might have, hopefully that I could answer. So I'd appreciate, smash that like button if you love the hustle. Let's see if we have any other questions. So what's funny is I sometimes go live on Instagram, but Instagram is not nearly as interactive as YouTube is. So I much prefer to go live on YouTube. That's for sure. Let me see. How would you recommend starting out for someone completely new? Do you want to know what I recommend for starting out? This is what I recommend for starting out. Ready? Books. Books, books, and lots of books. Books. Did I say books? Books. Put in the work. Books. Books. Because generally, books are going to give you the sales velocity you need to have a lot of sales without a lot of startup cost. Like, let me tell you something. Story time, real quick. I'm sure if you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw it already. But like, I went to a store, library sale, and it was in Pepperell, and it was $10 a bag. I mean, you could fill up your bag for as much as you want, like this here. You could fill up this bag, or any of these shopping bags. You could fill it up to the top, to the sides, whatever you want to do. Okay, and you can do that for $10. Now, for me, I usually don't like to pay $10 a bag. I usually like to pay $5, $6 to $8, but $10 you get up there because you got to be a little bit more cautious with your ranking, and you keep an eye out a little bit better. You know what I mean? You want to make sure that your cost and your profit is going to make you money. So, long story short, I got 16 bags at this one sale, 16 bags of books, and I thought it was going to be $160. And she turned around and told me, okay, 16 times 5, $80. And I go, I didn't say a word. I'm like, oh, okay. You know, so I always bring cash. $80, sure, no problem. $80. But I was ready to spend $160 on 16 bags of books. Now, the day before that, I was able to get 11 bags between two book sales, one in Littleton, one in Westboro. The Westboro was kind of short because I only did a bag sale for 1 hour, but 11, 12 bags, sorry. 16, 12, 28. So that's what we have there. So I recommend books all day. It's just an easy, low cost, high profit product to get into. Especially if you're just starting out, Amazon based its sales on like a trust system, okay? Amazon needs to trust you first. They're not just going to say, hey, here you go. You can sell whatever the hell you want. We don't know who you are, what your reputation is, how good you can sell, blah, 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 right? They need to trust you. What they least restrict you in my experience, has been books. So I recommend anybody starting out to start out with books so you can get that high velocity, high sales. That way, as you try to approach getting auto ungated, you are able to get that auto ungate. You know what I mean? You want to sell Legos. You want to sell Hasbro. You want to sell Baby Alive, whatever it is, all right? Whatever it may be. Let me try to fix this. All right, guys, I'm doing this outside because I am packing boxes, and my idea was I was going to pack boxes as I answered questions, but I'm not sure that's going to work. Let me see. How would you recommend starting off? Okay, just answered that. How much to spend, or what are the best platforms? So Brandon, what do you mean how much to spend? Like, are you asking like how much money you have to spend in order to start? Because when I first started Amazon, I started with $8. So you don't need much. You just need to be good at research, and you need to figure out what you're gonna buy. And you're only gonna do that by doing research, watching videos, going out, scanning everything. So I'm not sure what that means, but I think that's what you mean. Let's see, Ashok, how you doing? Macari, eBay. I know you do Amazon. Which is the best? So, here's my thoughts. I think all the platforms are beneficial. Okay, I think eBay has its perks. I think Amazon is great. I think Macari is wonderful. Etsy, I don't know. Poshmark, I never really messed with. What I would say is this. I talked about eBay versus Amazon in a past live, or I did it on Instagram. And what I said was basically this. In everything I tell you is going to be from my experience. I'll never tell you that eBay's better than Amazon, Amazon's better than eBay, because there are a ton of eBay 6 and 7 figure sellers that crush it on eBay. They kill it, right? Same thing on Amazon. 6, 7, 8 figure sellers on Amazon crushing it and killing it. My experience has been, I don't like eBay because I feel it's too slow for what I'm trying to accomplish. Okay, I like fast pace, high velocity, buy, send in, sale out, right? Make a sale, it pushes out, and I found that I'm able to sell, 10 to 20 times more, or even 50 times more than I would be able to on eBay, and I don't have to deal with the customer when you send FBA. Now, we're not talking about merchant fulfilled. We're talking strictly Amazon FBA. And for those of you that don't know, this might sound repetitive, but FBA stands for Fulfilled by Amazon. And what you can do is you can go out, source products using the Amazon Seller app. You can source products to figure out what to sell on Amazon and how much to sell on Amazon. And what you do is you take that product, you send everything into Amazon, and when Joey Bag of Donuts wants to make a purchase, chances are he's probably purchasing from a third-party reseller. Amazon does sell items themselves, but they just showed a report that came out that 65% of Amazon sales came from third-party resellers such as myself and others that are utilizing the platform to sell. And what it is Amazon deals with the customer service. Amazon deals with the returns. Now, hold on, there's a big truck coming by. That's UPS. Somebody said, yeah, but eBay, Amazon always sides with the customer, and I think they're right. And Amazon and eBay, whenever you have a customer dispute, and I know a lot of my eBay sellers out there can attest to this, a lot of times eBay is going to side with the customers because everybody's trying to be customer friendly. It doesn't matter. They know that resellers are gonna sell on that platform. You know what I mean? Like, is stuff fair all the time? No. Are there scammers out there? Yes. Do sellers sometimes get scammed out of items on Amazon and eBay? Yes, they do. What are you gonna do? Cry about it? I just sold 1,000 units. 1,000 units friggin' 3 days ago. I'm gonna cry over 1 unit? It's kind of juggling. Like, look, there's no such thing as fair game in this world. You know what I mean? And I never look at things where, and this is turning into a rant, so I'm sorry. I'll wrap it up soon. Get to the next question. But like, basically, whenever somebody tries to compare eBay, Amazon, Mercari, and what's the best to sell on, there's not a. I can tell you what I think, but to tell you what you should do depends on what you're good at. Do you like dealing with customers? Do you like shipping out product? Do you like having a little bit more control of your prices? Go with eBay. If you like volume and you want to sell mass quantities and you want to get it in and deal less with customers and still have Amazon side with customers for returns, go with Amazon. The velocity on Amazon, factual statement, if you sell on Amazon, you will sell more of the item. As long as the item sells, as long as you've done your research, all this other stuff. I could sell, 50 items a week on eBay, but I'll sell 1,000 items on Amazon. Sometimes 2,000 items a week on Amazon. Sometimes more. But on eBay, if I'm gonna or Mercari or Poshmark, any of those, if I was to sell 2,000 items on eBay, do you understand how time consuming that would be for me to sit there and package all 2,000 items, label it, ship it out? I'm an Amazon guy all day. Amazon all day. Next question. Sorry for the rant. If you guys are just joining, what's going on? We're just answering some questions about shipping and prepping product. If you're in here and you like my content, you enjoy my lives, you enjoy my videos, please hit the like button, smash the like button, knock out the like button, whatever you got to do, hit that like button so you can let everybody else know that you're talking with a bunch of houseaholics. Let's go to the next question. Sorry for that rant. Let's see, Mercari, eBay, okay. So with books, do you scan each one to see if there's profit? I noticed some books put you in the negative, or are you just taking 400 plus books and hoping for the best? Great question. So I do scan every book individually. You know what I mean? If somebody was to tell me, hey, it's $5 a bag for books, but I have these 50 bags over here would normally cost you 250. I'll sell them to you for $150 or $100. Do you want to take them? I'm not going to scan each one. I'm going to say yes, and I will take every bag and I'll worry about it later. Okay? Because $100, $150 for all those books for 25 bags of books is going to be a good deal. You're talking about, like you said, 400 plus books for a set price, whatever. But at library sales, depending on some, honestly, like there was like 6 resellers in Pepperell. I'm scanning each book, and I'm old school. I'm scanning everything with the Amazon seller app. I don't have any fancy scanners. I don't have any software with the books. I just straight up use the Amazon seller app. I scan, and I'm not recommending anybody else do that. I do that because books aren't my bread and butter. Books are like my, 2 to 3 times a month kind of thing. So I'm not invested into the software and the hardware strictly for books. You know what I mean? I'm a wholesale retail arbitrage guys. You guys know hustleaholics for life. But with books, I do scan each one, and I do see I have to make at least a couple bucks. You know what I mean? They use books, so generally you have to figure if they're $5 a bag, you're getting them for under $1. So if you can at least make $1, you're gonna make money, and it's a volume game. You know what I mean? It's a volume game. I think my Vitacost shipment is here, so we might have to pause this. I want to help the UPS guy. Let me see if he stops. Is he stopping? Where'd he go? Oh, he went up the street. I think he does have a delivery for me. But I'll keep going until he comes here, until we see him come down the street. So what I do is I do scan each book individually. Let's see, generally, how much would you spend before saying it's overboard? So spend on what though? Spend on retail arbitrage, spend on books. What's the substance of that question? What are we talking about? Because if it's retail arbitrage, if you got it, you're just going to get the deals no matter what. You know what I mean? Books, I take a few hundred and I go, because I don't know if I'm going to find 5 bags. I don't know if I'm going to find 50 bags. You know what I mean? Who knows? But you definitely want to have cash on you. I can hear the UPS guy. I'm sorry, guys. I like to help him because he's a good dude. And let me see if he stops. Hold on, there he is. There's a speed bump. Is UPS gonna stop right here today? Do we have a delivery? Yeah, we do. All right, guys. I think he's gonna go to the next door first, and then he's gonna come here. Let me put this right here. Okay, so you guys see how I get deliveries. What's up? You have any more than this? No. Thank you, bud. All right, you too. All right. Is FedEx here? They might have it. All right, guys, so UPS just came. They didn't have my Vitacost stuff because FedEx, I forgot, me, stupid. That's hustle brain right there. FedEx actually has my boxes, but FedEx just went up the street. So I'm not sure if they're gonna deliver my stuff here, but we'll just keep it going until they stop. Let me get to these questions. So the question I was on was, Yeah. So generally, how much would you spend before you say it's overboard? That depends. Depends on what you have for money. I can't answer that. You know what I mean? Is there any advantage to the professional account other than the dollar per item discount? Yes, Tactical Z, there is definitely a benefit. And the one that's straightforward is you can either pay $40 a month and have unlimited items to ship in, or you could have the 99-cent surcharge free account, which limits you to 40 items per month. So you can only send up to 40 items per month, and they charge you $1 per item. Either way, Amazon's getting their 40 bucks. You might as well spend the 40 if you're serious about it. Or how about this? If you're just starting out, do the free account. Hands down. Don't do the professional account. Do the free account. Send 20, 30, 40 items in. Maybe you're sending in books, okay? Pay that dollar surcharge. Make sure your margin can support that, okay? And get a feel for it. Maybe you don't want to do books. Maybe you got a little bit of money in your pocket and you want to start with some RAs. Maybe you want to head to Walmart clearance or Target clearance. Definitely do that, but make sure you're doing your research. 3 apps I always have open: Amazon seller app, the store that I'm in, their app, so the Target app, the Walmart app, etc. And then I use Scoutify too because I have Keepa.com built in. Let me just make this straight up clear to everybody. You should not be reselling unless you have Keepa, or if you're using something like Helium 10, Camel, you're using some kind of software that you can see the sales velocity if the item's selling. Because an item might be good to buy, but what's the point if it doesn't sell? Yeah, it's great. You're buying $100 item for $5. If it's not selling, who cares? You're not making money on it, right? Let's see, is FedEx gonna stop here? This is just the FedEx home delivery though. Nope. They ain't stopping. They're speeding the hell out of here. So we're waiting for our regular FedEx then. So so that's that, you know. That's the biggest advantage. You can either have a free account and pay $1 up to 40, or you can pay 40 and have unlimited SKUs. Granted that you're able to have unlimited storage. So we got a lot of questions coming in. Thanks, I love that. No one can answer how much to spend but yourself. Absolutely, that's absolutely right, because you know what you're budgeting on. You know, like, what you need to get, what you don't need to get. That's really a better self-addressed question. What bestseller rank do you recommend staying under for books? Okay, this is also very subjective. This can also, just because I go by this doesn't mean you should go by this, and it doesn't mean that it is the correct answer. When you're dealing with sales rank to me is like a risk meter. It's a risk meter. There's, I think, I don't know if it's 136 million. It's something silly. The book category is like stupid high, okay? My rule of thumb, it depends on what I'm paying for the book. If I'm at a bag sale, $5 bag sale, or a $10 bag sale, I generally try to stay under a 1 million rank. If I go to and I'm going to explain. If I go to Savers or Goodwill or any other place where I have to pay anywhere between 2 and 5, sometimes more, a book, then I generally want to stay under 500,000 at least, because I'm paying a higher premium and my profit margin needs to be there. So like when I go to bag sales, you got to make sure you're going to make money on that. But like if you go to Savers or you go to Goodwill or anything like that, I generally look for, $10, $20 profit books. And I'm not looking for $1, $2. I'm not looking to spend $4 or $5 or $3 to make $1. That's not what I'm doing, because books, it is what it is. Okay, it is what it is. But sales rank, I try to stay under 1 million. Now, there's been times, just this past weekend, I'll pick up a book that's ranked 2, sometimes in the 3 millions. But the difference is the profit on it, it's going to be 50, 60 or higher, even higher than $25. I'll go outside of my own margin of sales rank, because I'll check Keepa And even at 2 million, the book will sell. But I'll have to hold on to it long enough. You know what happens when you hold on to things? You can incur storage fees. You have to think about that, okay? This is why it's important. If I get a storage fee on a book, maybe it's not much, maybe it's 50 cents, 60 cents, whatever it is, okay? I'll be able to eat that and still be profitable because the book is going to make me, $25 to $40 profit. Now, I have a book where I'm going to make $2 profit. I paid 35 cents for, okay? And now a storage fee comes along 60 cents. Now it's like a dollar to make a dollar. It doesn't become as profitable anymore. Yes, you're going to double up. I don't have Sir Mix-a-Lot for that one. You're going to double up, but it's not going to be as rewarding to pay that storage fee as if you went outside of your rank a little bit and you did your research. You saw that it did sell on the Keeper, but it's only selling maybe once every couple months. Maybe it's only selling once every 6 months. You looked at the year and it only sold 3 times in the year, but you know it's sold. I'd pull the trigger on that. But, upwards over 3 million, if a book's 5-6 million and it sells once per year, that's gonna at least bring in $100, $200, $300, $400. And those are kind of rare. I generally won't go above 3 million. And 9.5 out of 10, I stay under 1 million. Let's see. Let me see, Savannah. Hey, Savannah. Savannah says, when I send a shipment to Amazon books, do the listings end up as the buy third party other sellers section of the listing, or is the buy box page only one seller Amazon? Okay, so Savannah, basically, so what I want to understand is when you're selling in your books, you're asking, is your listing going to be under 26 new and used, and people are going to have to click that in order to find your listing? Or are you going to be able to get the buy box, which is the add to cart, kind of like the instant purchase, right? And the answer is books can generate the buy box. You can get the buy box, but you have to be at the best price. So when you're sourcing books, I'm not saying you always have to be the lowest price, because right now the Amazon algorithm has been crazy. People have been winning the buy box without being the lowest price, but the best competitive price is going to, in the most inventory, is going to win that buy box, in my experience. What I do is I use a repricer. I set my minimums and maximums accordingly. So generally, I always try to price my item around the buy box price. I don't try to say, okay, well, the buy box is $15, but you know what? I know that I can get 25 out of this, so I'm going to price it higher. You could do that, but you might be sitting on it for a while. So when I'm sourcing, I make sure I am 99% of the time going to be able to compete with the buy box price. You want the buy box. Any other price, you just want the buy box, especially if you're dealing with books, FBA. You want volume. You want that velocity. So I hope that kind of answered your question. You can get the buy box with books, and you want the buy box with books or anything. When you get double carts, you must get a lot of looks in the stores buying like carts full of toys. Yeah, I do. Let me see who asked that. Brendan Hernandez. Yes, I do get that a lot. And what I do is when I get to the register, I ask them to smash the like button, like what I did there. They say, oh, somebody's having a good Christmas, or they'll say something. And I just, honestly, before I used to get uncomfortable, and I used to feel like, oh man, what do I say? I'm buying these at such a cheap price to sell them for profit. But then I thought of the bigger picture. When you're reselling these items, you're selling them to people who cannot get a hold of these items. So it doesn't matter whether you're selling them for a profit or not. You're still helping someone to get this item that obviously couldn't get this item in a store. That's why they're shopping online. Now, that's not normally the case, because a lot of people just like to shop on Amazon. They don't go out anywhere. They live busy lives. Maybe they have a full house, a full family. Both parents work. There's no time. They order things on their phone, commuting to work. They don't even check in the store, right? But I look at it like this. When I'm buying items and sending them into Amazon, I'm helping the consumer. I'm putting this product, now as long as you're not price gouging, you know what I mean? Like if you're doing that stuff with like the hand sanitizer incidences and all that other stuff, no, I'm not in the business of that, okay? What I'm in the business of doing is finding a tickle me Elmo Okay, yes, it's $25. Okay, it does sell for $60. Okay, here's what the consumer needs to understand. I buy a Tickle Me Elmo for almost $25. It's like 24 something. Okay, I'm gonna pay, granted my shipment, I'm gonna pay $1 to send that into Amazon because it's weight based, right? So you take the weight divided by the items, or the items divided by the weight, whatever it is, whatever the formula is. So you get your per item um, dollar amount for the weight for the shipment you're bringing in. So say it's $1, okay? Now that goes up to $26. Okay, I have to pay almost $12 in fees. So now that 26 goes up to $38. Okay, so now the customer is going to get it. The customer is going to get it, and Amazon's going to pick up the shipping generally because it's going to be Prime. Usually, you're going to have Prime is going to ship it, so the margins come down. You know what I mean? They don't. It's not like I'm making $100 on an item. Let me see. So I just kind of go with them when they're like, "Oh yeah, oh Santa must be coming early." I'm like, ha, 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 ha. Yeah, he is. Oh man, it's fun though. It's fun, especially when I had the Legos and they were stacked way up because my lazy behind did not want to go get a second cart. At what point did you see? Let me see. This is Low D. Says, at what point did you see that you could do Amazon full time? Here's a little secret. Ready? I'm not doing Amazon full time yet, but I'm on the fence. So you heard that right. So right now with Corona going around, I'm still working from home, and it's been able to save me a 4-hour commute to work, to focus on my business, and right now the best of both worlds. So hopefully we'll see what opportunities come in the future. See, Brennan says, you ever find some snags at thrift stores, Goodwill, etc.? Oh yeah, and a lot of times, you know, when I was selling on eBay, I would pick up a lot of used stuff. But lately, there's actually been a lot of new items, like vacuum sealed factory sealed items that you can send into Amazon because it's brand new. Just be careful with the factory sealed, because sometimes, especially when you're dealing with games and puzzles, sometimes the person will vacuum seal it themselves. It's not a factory seal. Just pay attention to that. And there's ways to tell, you know what I mean? But I do like to source in those places. And sometimes I find new items. Is Keepa part of Scoutify 2 or not? So Keepa is its own entity. Keepa.com is by itself. When I say I use Scoutify 2, I take my Keepa link in the graph, and what I do is I take my link and I put it into the Scoutify 2 system. I essentially create an external link. So that way it comes up and I can just one click of a button, because Scoutify gives me a lot of information. It tells me how many items are in that category. It tells me what percent of the item I'm looking at. Is it top 1%, top 3%, top 10%? It also gives you a little bit of a target cost based on the history. So, you know, it gives you a lot of information. And then Keepa, we just added an external link into Scoutify 2, so we could just click it in one app instead of having to go use my web browser for that. Let's see. John says, how do you go about repricing during Q4? Do you hold your prices higher and increase your minimums knowing tankers will sell out? I mean, that's a subjective. It's subjective. It depends. There's so much that depends on that. And if an item is flying out, you know it's the hottest item for Christmas, and you have 50 of them and nobody else has them, nobody else is selling it, then yeah, by all means, hold, because you'll be able to sell that for a premium because you're one of the few that have that item. Now, in your question, you said a lot of people will be selling that item. Do you wait for them to sell out? I mean, if a lot of people have the item, you know, I mean, you could risk it, but there's also a chance that you won't be able to get the premium. You know, let me give you an example. I thought for sure that these Super Mario Legos that came out, I thought for sure these were going to be like the item to get for the holiday season. And they, you know, we're not in November yet. They still could get scarce. But let me tell you this. I was just in a couple of Targets and in Walmarts, and they had stacks of the starter sets that come with Mario and come with Bowser Jr. And I'm just looking at it like, wow. I'm like, they restock those things quick. You know what I mean? But go try to find a Nintendo Switch, not a Nintendo Switch Lite, a Nintendo Switch. Those are hard to find. Even though they did come out with the Animal Crossing bundle, um, the price has come down on Nintendo Switches. So if you, my point is this: last month I bought a Nintendo Switch for 300. I sold it for 469. Okay, 469. I sold that for. If I were to take that Switch and hold on to it, because I'm like, oh, there's no switches anywhere here. There's no switches. The price has come down now to like more than $100 less. I think you can get it for 359 now. So if I held on to it, I would have been like, you know, I would have got it. You know what I'm saying? I could have made an extra $100 if I just paid attention to the data. So that Switch, that's a prime example of something looks like you should hold it. Like everything was pointing to the Nintendo Switch. If you find it, hold it, because it's nowhere. Where can you buy it? You cannot buy it anywhere. You just can't buy it anywhere. A lot of people found it, and that price came crashing down to like 379, 369. You know, you're gonna end up paying almost 320 with tax to make you're gonna put up 320 to make $40, and you're not even gonna make $40 because you're still gonna send that in. So, you know, it's just really subjective. You just gotta do your homework. Look at the keeper charts. Look at the trends. Supply and demand. That's right. Supply and demand. That's absolutely right. Oh man. So I've been packing all these books, and books are dirty, man. You know what I mean? Books are filthy. How many booksellers are out there? A lot of people watching this live do books. I got a question for everybody. Where should I go to do a live to see if any products exist? Put in the chat. Name a store. Could be Walmart, could be Target, could be Dollar Tree. It could be Marshalls, TJ Maxx, Home Goods. Put in the chat where you'd like to see me go live, and I'll see if I can go live tonight with everybody's answer. Let's see. Anybody answering? If not, I may end up just going to possibly a Walmart, but their clearance has dried up a little bit. So I might go to like a Marshalls or a TJ Maxx, or maybe even Dollar Tree. I might go to Dollar Tree. But let's see, a few more people joined. Guys, if you're just joining the live, thanks for being here. If you enjoy the hustles and then you enjoy these lives and Q&A sessions and you get value out of asking questions to try to help you run your business, please smash the like button. Hit that like button so that way I know you're supporting the hustle and you're going to let everybody know that they should come ask some questions. Let me see. Let's see, I think we have... How do you go about packaging your, let me see, how do you go about packaging and materials? And how does your shipping process work? Maybe a rundown from when you get the dinner at the store. I like that. Win a chicken dinner. At the store to getting your payment. Okay. Yeah, do a video on what, let me see. And I asked about. So here's the thing. Like, let me see. So check this out. For instance, say my books are my, let me just, hold on one second. Give me 1 second. So here I'm prepping books. I mean, I'm reviewing shipping content, right? And check that out. See that manual processing fee? $22.60. That means I'm not separating the books. I'm just throwing them in boxes and literally I'm just sending them to Amazon. Now, I don't do this with anything else other than books, only books, because I package my quote unquote dinners a lot different than I do books. Okay. So then it's going to say set number of boxes. Since this is shipment number 2, I don't know how many boxes yet because I haven't boxed up those books. That shipment in the truck, I did already. That's a separate shipment. These I haven't done yet. Okay? I know you guys like my bike. If you like my bike and you like my pink helmet, smash the like button. Let me know you like my pink bike. Okay? So that's that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the number of boxes here, and then I'm going to put the box weight and the dimensions here. Now, I know what you're talking about. You want to see, like packing paper, what I do for packing paper, how I'm, putting them in the boxes and all that stuff. It's pretty simple. You know what I mean? It's basically just taking an empty box, placing your items in there, and the goal is to really make sure that your items do not move in the box. That's the goal. So like I've put like empty boxes in. Hold on. I've placed like empty boxes to take up space in the box just so I could not have anything move, and then you run out of materials and all this other stuff. But basically, after you do that, you set your boxes, you set your dimensions, right? And I can show you, I could do like a short video after, right? Because I still have to put we'll be here sitting here for an hour or two while I'm doing this. But once I get the price, for instance, let me show you, this is a good example. These boxes, there's 6 of them. I don't want to go up just because, my address is on there and whatnot. But there's 6 of these boxes, okay? And each box weighs about 40 pounds. So if we do 4 times 6, 612, that's 240 pounds, okay? Let me see. 240 pounds. Where's my other phone so I can use the calculator? 240 pounds. It cost me $56.13. Okay, 56.13 for 240 pounds. So what I'm gonna do to figure out for hold on, 240 pounds, 200 items. Okay. 50, what did I say? 56.13, something like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 56.13 divided by hold on. 1.2. So I want to do 56.13 divided by times 1.2. So each item in there, after doing the math, is going to be 28 cents an item. About 28 cents an item. And we can verify this. Hold on. We could do our back math and verify that it's 28 cents an item, because if we do 28 cents per item, that's what we said, right? For 200 items, 28 cents an item times 200 items is going to give us our $56 in shipping. See? I can explain it in more depth, but generally that's what you want to do. That's how you figure out your weight. So for this shipment here, there's 200 items here. That means I paid 28 cents to ship one item. So that's how you figure out like shipping and stuff, And then once you do that, these all go to Amazon. And then once they sell, you get paid 7 days after the delivery date, not the sales date. If Bobby Bag of Donuts buys your book on a Monday, but it doesn't get to him until Wednesday, then the 7 days start from Wednesday, 7 days later, not Monday, 7 days later. That's how you get paid for Amazon, because they want to make sure that Bobby Bag of Donuts doesn't have any issues. Let's see. I see some different things on the screen right now. What's going on? Ooh, somebody sent a super chat. Thank you, thank you. Who did that? Hold on. Let me scroll down real quick. The Deuterino with a $4.99 super chat. Thanks, brother. I appreciate that. That might have to go to. I might have to take a page out of the Reezy book, and I might have to go to the Hustleaholics Alcoholic Fund. No, just joking. Much appreciated, Deuterino. Much appreciated, brother. Let's see. Books here. Yeah, do a video. Okay. Books here until getting ungated. Yes. That's a great strategy, because you can get great sales velocity with books. Barnes and Noble. What does that mean? I don't know. That's like a retail store. I don't think you're gonna find anything good to resell in Barnes and Noble, unless it's a rare book that you could pay retail for and make money. But more like thrift store, more like Goodwill, Savers, libraries, etc. Let's see. Heather Ramos says, hey, love your lives. Do you send all books in, or do you sift through them and use the Amazon tools to see what has made you profit? So something that I do is, when I'm outsourcing these books, I'm actually scanning each one by one with the Amazon app, so I'm able to see in real time if it's going to be profitable or not. If it's profitable, throw it in the bag. If it's not profitable, put it back on the shelf. Home Depot. Oh, I see. It took so long for everybody to answer, for me to get, okay, people want to see me go to Barnes & Noble. I'm not going to go to Barnes & Noble. Home Depot, maybe Home Depot. I'm not sure what they have for clearance there. They don't have much, so that'd be a short live. But I mean, I can go to Home Depot. If other people want me to go to Home Depot, drop in the chat, let me know. What I had asked earlier was, where do you want to see me go live to check out clearance and other items to try to hustle, to put in the carriage, try to help you and see what you can grab. What store do you want me to go to? Dollar Tree, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, Walmart, Target. Let me know in the chat where you want me to go. Kind of crazy, but sometimes party cities have sales. Plus, it probably is new for you and the viewers. Yeah, so it's funny you said that, Brandon. I was actually in Party City because my daughter wanted some candy, and we kind of make it a field trip. We don't go there all the time, but sometimes when she does really good in school or whatnot, we reward her with some goodies. And while I'm in there, they do have a small toy section, and I remember seeing these Star Wars Lego sets for $4 and $5. And I remember putting them all in the carriage. There must have been like 13 of them. The cashier has never seen anything like that. She's like, "Oh, I'm not used to seeing people buy Legos here." Like, well, you have now. So that's a good one. But that would also be a short video, because they don't have a lot of items that would be on clearance, or in general, because it's really a lot of party supplies, and people pay good quality money for party items. Yeah, that's true. I tend to have really good luck with a lot of the party items that I can find at Walmart. The party banners, the party sets. I've never actually tried Party City though, so I can't speak to it that much. Did the cost of all the software needed, like Repricer's, Inventory Lab, Amazon Keeper, discourage you when you started out, because it takes a big chunk of profit? John, thanks for the question. So when I first started, I didn't use anything. I just had the Amazon seller app for books. Another thing you guys should know, I don't use, and this is gonna like trigger a lot of other resellers, I do not use the keeper.com when I'm buying books. I just don't, especially in bag sales. I'm buying them for 10, 20, 30 cents a piece. You know what I mean? It's gonna be quick. You're competing against other resellers. It's not worth my time to sit there and spend minutes looking up one book to see if it sells or not. What I do is I just use the Amazon seller app, and I would advise anybody else, you don't need all this other stuff yet, but you will. For instance, if, like I said, you have to use Keeper if you're going to resell, right? But I think the exception is the exception is if you're going to do books, you don't necessarily need Keeper. If you're going to do retail arbitrage, wholesale, anything other than books, you need Keeper. And there's some resellers out there that would argue that, you need Keeper for books too. And it just depends on where you're going to buy your books. Like when I go to Savers, sometimes I use Keeper because I'm paying a premium. I'm paying upwards of $5 or $6 per book. So if the Amazon seller app tells me I'm going to make $10 profit, I want to make sure it sells. So I will check the Keepa graph in that instance. When I'm going to library sales and I'm buying bulk book, I do not use Keepa. As far as Inventory Lab and all the like repricers, it depends. I didn't use a repricer until I had about 200 or 300 items in Amazon. Then I got a repricer. You know what I used for a repricer? Myself. Every morning commuting to work, I would, because it took me an hour, and it doesn't take everybody an hour to get to work. So for me, it worked. But on the train, I would sit there and I would literally go through all my items and I would reprice them. That's what I would do. But after 200-300 items, once you start getting 400, 500, 600 items, it gets a little difficult to do that thing manually a few times a day. It's just, you want to invest in a repricer at some point. But in the beginning, why? You know what I mean? If you get 100 items, you can do it yourself. You got to find the time. Inventory Lab, that's $50 a month. And with Inventory Lab comes Scoutify 2 free. I can tell you right now, again, I'll get slack from everybody out there, and it is what it is. It's just what's good for me. I barely use Inventory Lab. I just don't use it. Even for books, I just don't use it. I literally pay the fee so I could use Scoutify 2 because I get more information out of that. Now, is that going to be true for everybody? No, because there's some people that'll argue that the workflow of Inventory Lab's easier, shipments are easier created this way. But, I've created my own workflow. It just works for me. You know what I mean? So, moral of the story is you don't need to buy don't get wrapped up in, I can't start Amazon because how am I going to afford, $35 to $50 for the repricer? How am I going to afford $50 for Inventory Lab? How am I going to afford, the $20 for Keepa? How am I going to afford, all these other additions? It's going to come within time. If you don't need it or it's going to eat up your profit, do not get it. It's just not worth it. You got to do it yourself. Bury your head down and do it yourself. That's what I got. South Coast, Massachusetts here. Okay, South Coast. What's up, Sunflowers? Found some great deals. Thanks for the information. Absolutely. I am southwest of Boston. Deuterino again, Deuterino. Shout out to you for that super chat. $4.99 super chat. Deuterino in the building. Thank you so much. Not a dinner, just a snack, but thanks for everything. Man, much appreciated, brother. Glad you're here. Thank you so much. Maybe Ross is also a good place. Yeah, so I don't know where you are, Brandon, but if you have a Ross, buy for less or dress for less, whatever the slogan is, there's none in Massachusetts. There's none in Connecticut, Rhode Island. There's none in New England, period. But I was thinking about doing a video. There is one in New Jersey. And if you have a Ross, I'm sure it's comparable to, like, we have Marshalls, TJ Maxx, Home Goods. I'm sure it's comparable to on the lines of that. I would totally source at Ross. If there was a Ross here, I would be there, legit. And I'm actually thinking about doing a road trip. The closest Ross to me is like 4 hours away in New Jersey. I might do a vlog, like literally a day in the life kind of thing, where we venture out, and we're not just going to go to one Ross. We're going to go to like a few Rosses within the area. And I think we're going to vlog all about it to see what the experience is, because I've never been to a Ross, but I've always wanted to go to a Ross. So if you have a Ross in your area, Brandon, definitely take advantage of that. Does Amazon provide any type of reporting so resellers can easily track their profit and loss of items? So Amazon does provide reporting. Sometimes the reporting can get a little jumbly and very technical. What I like to use is and who asked that question? David, thank you for asking that question. What I do is, so that's something that Inventory Lab could actually help to make simpler. Inventory Lab tracks all of your fees, shipments, and everything, and it breaks it down in category. Now, you pay $50 a month for this, but there's also another program that I use. It's called GoDaddy Bookkeeping. Now, some might say, well, what does bookkeeping have to do with, Amazon fees? And you're gonna have to put everything into the separate program. GoDaddy Bookkeeping, you can actually integrate with Amazon. So it automatically pulls all the data from Amazon, pulls it from eBay, it pulls it from Etsy, whatever you're selling on. I think they might have just added Poshmark too. For me, it pulls all the fees from Amazon, all the shipping costs, and it breaks everything down. And I can go into my reporting on the GoDaddy website or the app. They do have a mobile app, and I can literally see pie charts. I can see everything is everything is there. You know, my receipts, cost. It's my accounting. It pulls all the fees. It does everything. So I only look at the reporting in Amazon when I want to see what are my top selling items for the week, what are my top selling items for the month, what are my top selling items for 60 and 90 days out, what are my top selling items been for the past 6 months, etc. Reporting is also good because you want to see, you're able to see pretty easily the fee structure. When you go into payments, they break it down. There's a new way to look at Amazon fees now versus your pay. But I like using for tracking everything. I like GoDaddy bookkeeping. That's what I use. I've been using it for over a year now. It's $10 a month. $10 a month. I love it. Shout out to GoDaddy bookkeeping. Hope that never goes away. But Amazon does provide all types of reporting. Home Depot has lots of penny items. Is that a joke? I haven't seen any penny items in Home Depot. Do I use BrickSeek? Miss Savannah Robinson asks, do I use BrickSeek? Woo! Baby, do I use BrickSeek? Me and BrickSeek have a love-hate relationship. Okay? Sometimes I want to knock BrickSeek out. Other times, all I want to do is hug BrickSeek. It is what it is. I absolutely do use BrickSeek. I started off with the basic $9.99, found that wasn't cutting it, went up to the premium, and then now I pay for the extreme. I would advise anybody, if you could afford it and you're serious about retail arbitrage and you can afford the $35 a month, get it. Because you're going to strike out a bunch of times. But I'm telling you right now, if you go into multiple stores every day, BrickSeek is going to pay for itself. It's just going to pay for itself. It took me a while to learn that. It's going to pay for itself. So yes, I do use BrickSeek. I use the top tier membership because it unlocks all the features. I could even do a video on BrickSeek too. I might do a video. I might do a video with like a computer, like screen share, and show how to navigate BrickSeek and what I do to look for deals during BrickSeek. That's actually a real good idea. See, Savannah coming through. Appreciate that. But yeah, BrickSeek, we have a love-hate relationship. Let's see. Heather Ramos says, I want to see you source for books because I'm gated and limited to which I can sell. So it would be awesome to know what to get because I'm still trying to understand the Amazon tools. Yeah, so I was thinking about doing that. I just actually bought a shoulder strap for my GoPro. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put the GoPro here and I'm going to press record and I'm going to go into the book sales and I'm going to try to get some video on my camera, but it's so quiet and there's so, I don't know, there's very uppity people in libraries. They're very uppity, you know. People in libraries, for the most part, that aren't there, like as resellers that are there to, you know, I'm going to read my books. And I encourage everybody to read. That don't think that's not a dig, okay? But like you guys know the person I'm talking to. You know who I'm talking about. Patricia, who just got out of her Prius, walking in with the glasses this thick, coming in, asking why you're reselling. You know what I mean? Like that kind of person. When you have a camera in their face and you're recording other people, it's happened to me. They tend to get pretty offended. And a lot of times libraries will not let you record inside just due to privacy reasons. So if I have a GoPro up here, I might not be able to do it, but I could try. You know, I could try to sneak my phone and try to be discreet about it, but generally they don't like that. Do you think BrickSeek Premium is worth it? I think I just answered that. Absolutely, as long as you're going to put in the work. If you're not going to put in the work, you're just wasting time and wasting your money. Amazon has a repricer now. Yeah, so Amazon has always had a repricer. I'm sure they've upgraded it. I'm not sure how it works compared to some third-party repricers. To tell you the truth, I've never actually used Amazon's repricer. I've always used a third party because the repricer I use now reprices every 2 to 3 minutes. It's very quick. I think Amazon's repricer prices every 20 minutes. I could be wrong. Hey, Richie. Hi. Marcus says, hey, Richie, I am disabled. Any sourcing tips I can use to get more inventory? Sure, Marcus. So, without knowing the extent of your disability, I'm assuming this disability is not allowing you to be able to go into different stores. And what I would recommend is you could try something like online arbitrage, right? You could try sourcing clearance items that are offered online that are delivered right to your house, right? There are programs that will assist you in identifying where to go to look for these deals. There is a program called Tactical Arbitrage. It is a little pricey, but for somebody that cannot get out and get into stores and can only do online, I'm just assuming that's what you're getting at with the question. Something like that could run anywhere between $80 to $120 a month. But it gives you a ton of stores. It will scrub all of their clearance, and you can make educated decisions as to what's gonna be able to buy or not. Now, if you are new, like brand new, then I would just recommend going to online stores that you like. For instance, if shopping at Best Buy, Walmart, Target, looking for clearance items in these familiar stores, getting a feel for it, getting that delivery to your house. When it comes to the house, you're able to do everything at home, um, package it up, and then what you could do is you could actually schedule a pickup if you're not able to get to the post office or UPS. You could schedule a pickup for these delivery companies to come and grab your items, so you don't even need to go to the store or the post service or UPS store or wherever it is, however you're shipping. So there are ways around it. Big Lots or Ollie's? Okay, Big Lots. You know what? I've actually never been to Big Lots. Maybe that's actually not a bad idea. John says, thanks, Richie. You are the man. I appreciate you for being here, John. Much appreciated. Much love. Brooklyn Mom goes dumpster dive and says, hey. Hey, Brooklyn Mom. Eloy. I can't read because it's Algiha. Yeah, Algila? Or is it Agula? Sorry if I butchered it. But you asked, just scored 2 Elmos on my way. Yes. That's what I'm talking about, man. Elmo's, listen, Elmo is a classic toy. You see Elmo, I don't care if Elmo was like, you have to understand, a couple months ago, the same Tickle Me Elmo was going for $120, $140. You couldn't find it anywhere. Keep that in mind. Brandon says, Georgia and where I live now is, okay, Ross, Marshall's, Goodwill, a store called Beals or Beelis. I think that's 2 L's. Beals, similar to Ross, okay, and they are building a new Five Below. Oh yeah, I haven't been to Five Below in a while either. That actually wouldn't be a bad store either. And it's all about 5 minutes away. Man, go to all of them. Start at like 9 a.m. or 8 a.m. whenever the first one opens. Go to all of them. Do you ever do OA? Deuterino says, yes, I do OA, and I've used programs like Tactical Arbitrage, but I don't do enough OA to support the cost yet. But if I get to a point, like for instance, if I get my own warehouse and I'm really not able to get out and do a lot of sourcing in person, and I really want to buy things and have it shipped to the warehouse, especially for wholesale, I would definitely subscribe to Tactical Arbitrage. So I do OA, just not a lot. I was doing a lot of OA over the summer because everything was closed. No, it's not a joke. No joke, sir. Love penny items. What items are you allowed to sell when you first start Amazon FBA? So that depends. You know, you got to scan everything. You got to find out what you can sell, what you can't sell. You have to see, is Amazon restricting you or are they not restricting? If they're restricting you, don't worry about it. Move on to the next item. You know, if you see something you really want to sell, there's going to be times where, listen, it's happened to everybody that started. You know, I remember scanning like these Hasbro items, and it was Q4, and they were on clearance for $5, and they were selling for like $80, and I'm like, oh my god, there's like 12 of them here. If I could only sell them, right? But I've learned, like, you can't beat yourself up because I found other products that I could sell. You know, can't beat yourself up. If you can't sell it, move on. If you can sell it, sell a lot. It's the name of the game. We're still waiting for a huge haul shipment to FBA video. Yeah, I mean, I like showing when I'm in the stores. It's a little difficult for me to show my packing process without revealing things such as like my address, my account, you know. Items are great, and I show you my hustles when I'm out there, but generally you see them weeks, a week or two, if not weeks, after I've already sent it in the FBA. And this is the reason why. The reason why is it protects me as a seller, protects my account, and honestly, it protects my products. Okay? If I could reach thousands of people and they see the item I buy today, everybody's going to go out buy that item. Price is going to tank. Nobody's going to make money. What I like to do is when I make my hustle videos, I'm trying to document my journey, and I'm trying to let you know that, there's items out here. You can make money off this. What are you doing? Get up, get out, and get sourcing. That's the main objective of these videos, and to try to show you how I am able to make money. Now listen, sometimes there's haters out there, they're like, oh, he ain't making that much money. He ain't making that much money. However much money I'm making remains to be seen. And at the end of the year, I was thinking about it. I'm not a numbers person. I don't think numbers are important. I think you could be judged too much with just your numbers. I think your process is more important than your numbers, right? Showing how you're doing something is more important than throwing numbers on a screen saying, hey guys, look at me. I made $86 bajillion. Like, yeah, okay, it can be motivating to a point, but I'd much rather see somebody's process and explain how they're making the money than seeing just the dollar figure. But I think on New Year's Eve, I think I am going to post my number for the year, what I did all year in sales. Okay? I think I might do that. Just as like a happy new year kind of thing. But don't get it twisted. We're making money out here. Where do you find out about book sales? How hard is it to get ungated in other categories? What do you have to do? Okay. So what I found out about the book sales is a couple of ways. The easiest is going to booksalefinder.com. If you go to booksalefinder.com, select the state you live in, they're going to list all the libraries that are partnered with booksale.com. Now, is this going to list all the library sales? No. So in that case, what you have to do is you have to go old school, okay? You have to call neighboring towns, neighboring cities, whatever it is. Amazon's here, not for me. And you got to call them, send them an email, get a picture of your state, figure out where you live. I've done this, and I looked at my town and I said, what are the surrounding areas? You send an email and you call them and you ask them, hey, are you having a book sale soon? Do you have an ongoing book sale, which generally means they have books for sale every day for $1 or $2? Sorry for the added noise if you can hear that. The house behind me is chipping some trees. So if it gets too loud, I might have to move to a different location, or I might have to end this live. But is that noise too loud? Is it like so loud it's like disruptive? Because for me, it's really loud in my ear. Anyways, let me finish the story. So email and call surrounding towns or cities around your area and find out who's having the sale, if they're having ongoing sale, what's the date of their next book sale, if they're having a bag sale. You got to reach out, okay? But booksalefinder.com is a great resource. What's your plans for Black Friday weekend? I don't know. I don't think anybody knows. I think it's going to go all online. I talked to a couple of people in Walmart and Target, and they've all said so far they think it's going to go 100% online. We don't know what's going to happen, but Richie, thanks for taking the time off this QA. A sit, no problem, Mr. Patel. I appreciate it, or Mrs. Patel. A sit Patel, that's what we'll say. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Let's see. Michelle Brown says, how do you know which Funko Pops are good except for the Amazon and Walmart app? So you can actually download the Funko app And they go by what's called a PPG. That's P as in Paul, PPG value. It also stands for Pop Price Guide, which is another site, poppriceguide.com. So the Funko app uses values from poppriceguide.com. They call it PPG. You're able to find out your the value of your pops and kind of get an idea. But just because your pop may be valuable or not valuable doesn't mean you're not going to be able to sell it for a good price on Amazon. So what I do is I like to check eBay. I still use eBay to check prices because I want to make sure that the prices between eBay and Amazon are pretty comparable. But I generally like to sell them on Amazon. I put them in a pop protector and sell them for the most part. How do you do wholesale? What are the requirements? Good question. Also subjective. How do you do wholesale? The first step is finding a distributor. You want to find a distributor. This could be as easy as going into google.com and typing in toy wholesale distributors in my state. You know, obviously in my state would be like Massachusetts, Georgia, Florida, whatever. Start there. You should be able to come up with some wholesale distributors. Not all wholesale distributors are equal, but the requirements, generally wholesalers like to deal with companies. I have an LLC, so I have an EIN, I have a business. Some will work with sole proprietorships, but you want to reach out to them and ask them via email, ask them for an application and go from there. How do you send in items that are batteries when I ask you for the details of weight and battery? So I don't generally, besides like the Elmo, usually that information is already embedded in the listing. But if it does ask you if the item has batteries or not, just answer the question, Yes, this item has batteries. Yes, this item uses batteries, came with a battery, whatever the question is. Just answer it correctly and you'll be fine. There's no penalty, I saw a guy go into Nike and other shoe stores spending a lot of money, but making a lot back. Do you ever buy and sell shoes on apps like GOAT? I do not. So nope, the only two selling apps I'm on right now is Amazon and Macari. I don't use GOAT, StockX, I don't sell sneakers unless it's Puma or Under Armour, and that's mostly because I'm gated in Nike and Adidas. I can't sell it on Amazon. I don't want to sell it on eBay, and I've never really looked into GOAT and StockX, but I'm so busy with my other platforms, it would be extremely hard to focus on another platform right now. Thanks, Asit Patel. Appreciate it. Do you get lots of returns on Funkos because the integrity of the box is important? So with me, no, because I'm a collector myself. So whenever I get Funkos in the mail, like for instance, let me show you this. Like, I know this is Funkos that I've ordered in the past. This is like some OA right now, okay? I'm going to open this up because one of these is going to be mine. But I know that this company sends them in these boxes, okay? So when I open this up, the pop is inside, okay? So what I do is I'll take this pop out because I want it for my collection, but I save all of these that I get, you know what I mean? And I know, like, they all come in the box like that, so I'll literally take the sticker for these. Now normally I pay Amazon, but for certain products I sticker. This is one of them. I put the sticker over this because I want Amazon to know, keep this box. This box is protect the pop. So that way when the customer buys it, you get this, and then you also get an undamaged pop. And I get a ton of these from ordering my own personal stuff. That's how I ship Funkos. And if I don't have those, honestly, I buy pop protectors all the time. I buy a 0.50 millimeter pop protector. So they always ship in great pop protectors because I know about boxes and stuff like that. Cannot wait for the year-end number. It's not all about the number. You have to understand this. I know it's exciting, right? It is about the number, right? Listen, we're all in this business to make money. We are. But we're also in this business to develop our own skill set and increase our business, right? A number is just a snapshot. If somebody showed you a number and said, hey, they did $100,000 in sales a year, would you think less of them? No. That's awesome. You sold $100,000 worth of product. So next year you want to sell $200,000. Somebody sold $500,000 worth of product. Yeah, that's great. But it's like you want to grow. So numbers are exciting. I get it. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you want to grow your business. That's the most important thing. Numbers aren't important. They are important, but they're not important. There's a saying that says, I never did anything for money. I never set money as a goal. Money was a result. And I live by that. I got that. I would hang that up in my office at work. I have it in my house. I never set money as a goal. Money was a result. And that's how I look at my business. Money is a result, not a goal. Can you go, wow, we've been on this for an hour, 20 minutes. Guys, I'm going to dip 9 minutes. I'm going to try to get as much questions answered in the next 9 minutes as possible. Please hit the like button if you've enjoyed this live session. If you're just coming in now, please hit that like button. It'll tell everybody how much you enjoyed this Q&A session, and I'll hop on and do it again sometime soon. We might be going live again tonight on a hustle. All right. Thank you for smashing the like button. Let's get into a couple more questions before I take off. Can you get ungated from categories using regular receipts, or do you need to buy from a wholesaler first? So no, you cannot get ungated with receipts. Although receipts can help you with inauthentic claims. So if somebody's questioning the authenticity of a product, you can submit a receipt, but here's the trick. You need to make sure the barcode on the receipt matches the product, or else they will not accept it. The short answer is no. You cannot submit a receipt to be ungated. You need an invoice from a distributor. I have seen videos of people buying pallets of return items from Amazon and going through them to resell. Have you done this before, and how do you go about getting one of those pallets? Pros and cons. Yeah, so let me see who asked that question. Courtney Tucci, thank you for asking that question. I have not gone into pallets or customer returns, but it is something I'm looking into, and it probably won't be something to do until I get a warehouse, just because, like, you know, right now I'm limited on my driveway. You know what I'm saying? I'm on a hill. It's going to be more hassle than helpful. I do want to get into it. Once I get a warehouse, I do want to get pallets, and I do want to explore that because it looks like a lot of fun. Makes sense. Those shipment pics are just crazy. Yep. Receipts don't work. You need to get the paperwork from the shipper. Yep. Oh, sweet. Thank you so much. No problem, Michelle. You should start a Discord so everyone can help each other and shout out good finds. You know, I thought about that, and I downloaded the Discord app. I'm afraid. Let me hide my face. Yo, legit. I'm afraid to admit this with a straight face, but I don't know how to set up a Discord. I don't know how to set up a Discord. I mean, to be fair, I haven't looked into it much either, but it has been on my mind. I do have a Discord app, and I thought about starting a Discord group, so it is something I'm looking into. But yeah, thanks for calling me out, brother. Just playing. That is a great idea, though. Let's see. The Deuterino says, Courtney, return pallets are garbage. Okay. Go through Wholesale Ninjas to get a case pack pallet, all brand name. Okay, so there you go. Deuterino obviously has some experience. Check it out. Let's see. What's more profitable, buy pallets or clearance shopping? I don't buy pallets of unless it's wholesale. So if you're I mean, when somebody says pallets to me, I'm thinking of like customer returns or something like that. Clearance shopping is always more fun, I think, than getting anything delivered to your house. Wholesale is more profitable. Yes, I agree. Wholesale. So it depends. Yes. When you look at people, when you look at big retail arbitrageurs and you look at big wholesalers are putting up, you ready? 8 figures plus. I think there's more money in wholesale just because the process of buying replenishables is more appealing than going out, finding items on clearance, and then you're never finding that item again until the next time it goes on clearance. So wholesale has its benefits. Retail arbitrage I use to fill the gaps. We make money. You know, a hustle's a hustle. Dropping good jewels. I appreciate your time. Thank you for being here. How do you get ungated in toys? Sell a lot and then apply. Or get an invoice for some toys you want to sell. YouTube has the answer to set up a Discord chat. Yep, you're right. You're right. YouTube has the answer for all the questions. I know. My buddy got DJ pallets for 35 cents on the dollar and had auctions that, oh sorry, the reseller just got to know some things that were lost and broken, missing parts. Yeah, I've never done it, but I want to try it. Can you remember the most exciting brand you've gotten ungated for, and what was it? The most exciting brand that I got ungated for? I don't know. I get equally excited for every brand I get ungated for. That's a good question. Like, immediately what comes to my mind is like Barbie and Lego, but I don't sell, like I sell a lot of them. You see the videos, right? But I was equally excited to get ungated in Under Armour as I was to get auto ungated in Barbie. And Legos, I submitted an invoice. I didn't get ungated in Legos. There was a secret to that too. I can't let the cat out of the bag on that yet. But honestly, like, probably I'm a collector, so I think the day I got ungated to sell like Nintendo products, Nintendo figures, Nintendo anything, I was pretty excited about that. Nintendo I got auto ungated in. Like, I'm still gated in Sesame Street, but the Elmo I sell is listed in a different category. Yep. So, like, I'm still gated in Mattel. No, I'm not. I lied to you. I just got ungated in that recently. Like, it took 3 years for me to get ungated in Baby Alive. I know people that just started accounts that were selling Baby Alive right out of the gate. I couldn't sell Baby Alive until like 2 weeks ago. All right, we're gonna get into 2 more questions. You still part-time reseller, right? Would you ever do full-time? Full-time's always a consideration. Things just have to work out right. You know what I mean? Or just up a group Facebook. So will UPS pick up my FBA shipment on Amazon? Yeah. So as long as you print out your labels at home, you put your labels on the box, and UPS, you schedule a pickup with UPS, they will come to get it for you. Yes, for a small fee is right, Marcus. Yes. So the post office, you can schedule it. The post office will pick it up for nothing, at least in my experience. UPS will charge you a fee, but if UPS is already at your house, generally the guys will always take it for nothing. But if you want to schedule something online, yes, it does cost a fee. How do you get ungated? Such a subjective question. I did do a video on this, how I got ungated. And there's only 2 ways to do it. 1 is auto ungate, 2 is invoice. Okay? So one of those 2 things, if you want, check out the video that I did on that. You can find that in the UPS for free in Canada. Okay, good to know. If anybody's, all my fellow Canadians in the house, you can pick up for free. Guys, we've been on this live. I can't appreciate enough of everybody kind of hanging out, asking your questions. We've been live for an hour and a half. It's the longest live I've ever had. I really appreciate you being here. I appreciate anything, the likes you've shared, the sharing this, asking all your questions. Been truly amazing. And maybe I'll see you all tonight, because I may be streaming a hustle live tonight. or I might wait till tomorrow. We'll see. Stay tuned. Everybody have a good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are, wherever you may be. I appreciate the hustle. Hustleaholics. We out of here. Peace out.